Hello, it's Jay here again and welcome to another tutorial. So in this lesson we're going to begin in the opponent manager script and we're going to fix the issue we had in our last lesson where it would load multiple opponents into the scene. So let's come to void load current opponent and we're going to come to each one of these else if little blocks. And what we're going to do is we're going to open and close brackets and we'll need to tidy this up as we go, so I'll just copy and paste the comment back and let's come below there, and what we're going to say is return close brackets into the comments. We're going to say now do nothing and return. And you'll have to forgive me today if you can hear traffic. Unfortunately, it's extremely hot today. So I've got the window open, but hopefully we can all get through it. And now I'm going to come to the bottom of the script. We'll create a type private void. And we need to give this a naming convention. Let's say set opponent. Open and close brackets, open and close again. Now we're going to come here, it needs to come before the return line. And we'll call that function set opponent, open and close brackets, close the line off. And now we're going to come here, we're going to take all this code. We're going to cut. And we're going to paste into the new function. I'll just tidy up by getting rid of the empty lines. Now we need to do this for each and every one of the opponents. And I might not do them all in the video, but let's at least get a couple in place. In fact, it doesn't actually look like it's going to take too long. So we'll say call set opponent function into that comment. We'll just copy and we'll paste that code in. And we'll just keep going. In fact, we might as well get them all done in this video to be easier for testing. And we've only got a couple more to do. And the very last one. We'll tidy up the comments. So let's have a look. So we'll need to tidy all the comments up now. So we're nearly done. Unfortunately, you can hear a siren, which I apologise for. As I said, normally even when it's hot. I'll still close the windows off when I'm recording, but it's just so hot today. For those of you that aren't aware, we are in the middle of a little bit of a heat wave at the moment. So let's save that off. We'll downsize that. And bear with me while I plug the controller in. As you can see, I'm in the splash screen. Let's go through. And we'll see if that's fixed. Now, a word of warning, when it loads the opponent into the scene, it's not going to do anything. It's just going to stand there or float there wherever in a T-pose, and that's because we have no function yet, or no code yet, in the opponent actual AI script. So before, it was responding to the actual player script, but obviously we're disabling that now. But we'll fix that in the coming lessons. Or well, it's not even really a fix, it's just a case of filling out the AI.
Round 1. Fight.
So here we go. The opponent's floating, that's fine, it's still in its T-pose, and that's because we're calling no code on it yet, as I said, because this script is empty. And if we select the actual opponent game object, as you can see, this is the reason why we no longer get movement, because these scripts are disabled. However, what we have got is exactly what we needed. As you can see, we've only got one game object, one opponent game object in the scene now, and that was the most important thing. That is what we need to fix, and of course once we fill out this script, everything will be fine. So let's just stop that. And I'm going to come to the splash screen, and let's adjust the fade speeds. So I'm going to change the splash screen to 0.5, and we'll just go through our scenes. So controller warning. Sorry, clicked on the wrong thing then. And yes, I know I need to clean these comments up since switching to Visual Studio, but I'll do that off camera. I would have obviously done this before the lesson, but unfortunately I've just had my time taken up really a lot over these last couple of weeks. It's been, I'm really sort of recording this one off the cuff, as it were. Now I want the controller warning to fade a little bit slower, so I'm going to make that to 0.33. And while we're here, I'll switch that to private. Let's save that off. That's just the fade value. We know it works, so we don't need to see it in the inspector anymore. And let's have a look. That is fine. Let's come to the main menu. Open up this script. And we can set some of these to private as well. So the button width, height and offset, I'm just changing to private now. Fade speed, let's make that 0.5. And in fact I'll make these private. You can leave this one public if you want, if you still want to tweak the value or experiment with the value to find one that suits your project. But I'm just going to go ahead and set all these to private now that don't require assigning something in the inspector. So these are the only ones that will be public, the textures and the audio clips. And let's save that off. And let's have a look, just wait for that to recompile. Choose character. And again, I'm just going to set quite a number of these to private again, providing they don't require assigning something in the inspector like these. So obviously the static bubbles need to remain as public. So please be careful if you're going through and setting a lot of things to private. Make sure you do not do so for any static bubbles. These must remain public. Let's have a look. And we'll come back to the splash screen and the debug logs. Now, you can delete them if you wish. I like to comment them out in case I ever need them again. For example, if I come back and add code to this, although in the splash screen it's unlikely I will, but if I do and I need to debug, I can just uncomment them. So let's just uncomment them out. Controller, I think we're fine. Main menu. So in the very next video we're actually going to really push on and start to get those other scripts we created finished, but this is just tidying up the project, and it is, while it may not be exciting, it is important. If you allow your script to become quite a mess, it can then become a real problem trying to then tidy it up once you've let it get out of hand. So it's always best to do this as we go. And in the choose character script, I'm just going to comment out all these debug logs. And we've nearly done. Once we've actually done this, we'll save all those scripts off and we'll just run through this one more time. Not entirely sure what it was then, but that's the good thing. We'll just click yes, we'll get rid of those. Could have looked through, but not really necessary. Probably just made a little typo somewhere. Let it run through. fact, we'll have the console up. So it's loading in and out quite quickly now. Player 1 movement. I'm actually not going to comment these out at the moment because we are coming back and doing quite a bit more work on the player movement. And I'll explain what we're doing when we actually get round to that. But we're just going to tidy it up because I know the movement's actually quite clunky at the moment. So if you're worried about that, please don't be. We are going to fix the clunky movement. I just got the basics in place first in that script because I had requests for it, and it's a good idea as well to sometimes actually get the basics in place. Just test that things are working, and then you can make all the little tweaks that you wish.
Round 1. Fight.
So everything is now working a lot quicker, a lot more snappier. And these values may not be to your taste, but you can obviously change them to something that suits you and your project. These are just the values I'm using.
Round 1.
But it's snappy now, yet still has a smoothness to it, which is exactly what I want. So I think we'll leave it there for this video. So as always, I hope you enjoyed this lesson. I hope to see you next time. And until then, as always, bye for now.